Hi, my name is Lilla Ronga, founder of the Bright Academy, and today I'm here with Gergely Budai, trainer, coach, and spiritual mentor. Thank you so much for being here, Gergely.
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful to be here.
Gergely and I go way back. I think I've been on his trainings for about 7 to 8 years now, and I have a lot of gratitude to him and to his colleagues as well. They have this beautiful institute in Budapest that helped me a lot. One of the topics that you and your center helped me the most with is my sense of self-worth as a woman. And so that's the topic that I would love to share with the rest of the world as well. So what I'm really curious about is how to find balance and harmony in today's world with self-actualization that we want to achieve, success, but also being present for our partners, so the balance of femininity, masculinity in our work lives, but also at home.
Okay, it's a huge topic, yes. Okay, but I try to find direct solution to these questions. So I have to say, I think the base of this kind of healthier self-image as a woman, for example, or as a man, depends on the connection to ourselves, the honesty in this connection, the self-esteem, and also the self-esteem based on the respect and the lack of the lack of unuseful deals in our life. For example, what I mean that, I have a deal with myself that I will be kind to my colleagues and my boss just because then they will give the acceptance for me and this will help in my career. It sounds good, and in the first impression it helps a lot and it creates good possibilities, but in the reality and in the long term it creates depression. It creates a distance between our true self and the image, the facade, the person of what we create. So this type of lack of honesty and lack of respect to our true feelings and true attitudes of ourselves, this can create wounds in our personality and the connection with ourselves. So the question was that how can someone find more balance in its gender or in its connections with the other parts? The base is the connection with ourselves. The connection based on the honesty, the respect of ourselves. If I don't have such good feelings with my colleagues, then in reality, and what we can help with, that in reality there's a need to settle conflicts. But not the way that, I make a lie with smiles and with kindness, but the reality and the honesty that, to be assertive, for example, when we can be assertive with ourselves at first, that, I have negative emotions, I have negative impacts from this group of people, and now it's the very time to settle this topic with them, and to say out loud, situation, that's how you behaved with me, and inside I have an impact, I have an emotional effect in myself because of your behavior, for example, because of your words, and my real aim is to give each other real respect, acceptance, but it's impossible without the reality that in the meantime I'm in anger. It's very time to settle these conflicts. It's really a case of integrity that I have problems and I love myself and I respect myself enough to settle these conflicts, but without hurting the other, without hurting myself. To have respect also for the relationship itself, and to create such an atmosphere where everyone has the possibility to be her or himself in that situation. In that kind of attitude, in that kind of respect, we got a higher connection to ourselves. And when we learn this way to love ourselves, to respect ourselves better, this honesty can help to be able to think it through, that what is the reality of our real soul, not just our ego, not just our fears, not just our need of acceptance and so on, but our deepest needs, our deepest emotions, and we get ready to face them. And when we are ready to face our needs, then we can find and then we can meet our inner woman, our inner man, and these female or male energies. And then in this honesty we can find the balance. And I can be brave, I can be strong, I can do anything in life. But in reality, I have needs to be a flower, I have a need to have, for example, a strong someone next to me who can care about me, who can protect me, who can lift me up and give the possibility to experience not just the success, not just the strength, not just the ability, the intelligence, the competencies can take place in my personality, but where my love of beauty, where my love of the silky way of life can emerge also and take place in my personality, where I can live my woman part, where I don't want to be in a race, when I don't want to be always competent, where I can only sometimes think about how to create a home, how to create a good atmosphere between people, and how to make life better, make life more beautiful, filled with emotions, filled with love, in the way that I can do anything what a man can do, but in my way, but in that way where I can protect and I can live, experience, and where I can love and fulfill my other part, which can create a better, much more nice world around us.
Thank you, Gergely. I've been here. I just decided to turn my camera off because we froze, but Wi-Fi is not perfect, but I feel like we can still create value, so I'll just turn off my camera when we're recording you and speak. Okay, thank you for your thoughts. Yes, I feel like I could really connect to what you said, because we are raised to be good girls, and I feel like a lot of the suppressed emotions and words are coming from those type of teachings that we still carry on as adult women, that we're not supposed to be a certain way, and then we become dishonest with ourselves. I'm wondering, what do you feel like are the traits of a woman that might not be valued nowadays so much because maybe it's not quantifiable, but can contribute to the healing of the world or the elevation of the world?
Okay, there are plenty of them. And they are really, really important. I think in life, in the universe, everything is in balance. So in reality, the quality of a woman, the male qualities are in balance. They are both worthy and they are not more important than the other. But that's the ideal way of the universe. The universe is in balance, but the humankind's world is not in balance. In a couple of thousands of years, there was the rule, there was the sometimes dictatorship of the males, the men. And this type of male energies and In reality, it's not really a male energy, it's a beginner level of male energy, where it's just a little bit higher than the animal level of existence. So this very beginner male energy and male style, this type of violence, this type of cult of force, this type of cult of competence, and to be strict, to be hard, to have power, to have effect. This type of male flow, it could create a civilization of technology. It could create a civilization of this type of level of life niveau, what we have in our planet. But it couldn't create a place where the concept it should be a happy place. It could create a place of sometimes safety, sometimes war and violence, of course, but it could create a focus of, at first, the safety features and then the power features. But what's absolutely is a very, very sour thing in our life that it's not about being happy. It's not about being in connection. And this type of happiness, which doesn't come from the items, the tools, the objects, the car, the house, the balance in my card, in my Visa account, and so on. So now the real happiness, not the joy, but the real happiness is always coming from connections. And males totally missed it. And our world is totally missed it that way. So women energy could create a much more wiser place. And those type of women qualities, what you asked for, are those which can give a lesson to this man's world that nice job, but let me show you how to be happy. Let me show you how to use your heart. Let me show you that it's nice, but it's not important. The gist is to connect to your soul, to connect to the soul of the planet, to connect to the soul of the people around you, who you create connections with your relatives, with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues, your clients, customers, and so on. That the gist is to create such connections, to create such a world where you don't have to fight, where you don't have to be stronger, when you don't need power, when you don't need those typical archaic male qualities, but where you just can live, where you can just simply take the breath as you can take the breath with, the acceptance of life, to be ready to be loved. But I was born, and now I'm ready for love. In that way, how I am. Women can teach the world, the males also, and themselves also at first, that to love someone doesn't depend on the movements. It depends only our ability to love. You are ready to be loved, and you don't have to do anything for this. You are not just ready, but you are worthy for that, and everyone worthy. And this planet is absolutely worth to be protected, to be humble. If we look through the families in the last thousands of years, men could be humble with their roles to create money and sometimes to create protection. But a lot of times the most of the times, they missed to be humble towards the other people, towards the woman, the wife, and the kids, and so on. They ruled them. They were the ruler. They were sometimes the dictators. They missed to be humble. And in the meantime, in the last couple of thousands of years, in the same time, women always taught the men to be humble throughout their own examples, that they could be humble, to love, to accept, to do anything, to give anything to the other, just because they existed. And the women always taught that to men, to the mankind, but we missed to learn it. In the man's world, there's a huge lack of the higher qualities, the wisdom of the women, where the gist is the happiness. The gist is to connect. You don't have to do anything to be loved. I accept you just because you are. There is the humbleness. There is the kindness. There is the realization that there's no need for a race between genders, between the people, between companies. There's a time to stop this race, this selfish way of living where I need more, I need much more, I need more quantity, I have to be famous, I have to be successful, and so on. No, there's a time to teach anyone that try to enjoy life as it is, without more things. Try to enjoy things without exhausting our planet, without exhausting our soul, exhausting our connections, our relationships, without missing the point that the main thing before our death will be not, oh, I was such a great salesman, but the moment before our last breath. In that moment, everyone in the mind will have the concept that the main thing, the gist, the most wonderful and important thing in life was my connections to other people and myself. And how I could see the world, and how I could really be amazed by a flower, by a sunset, by a beautiful ocean side, by a little smile, by a little touch, a hug, and so on. That's what we will remember before our death. And this wisdom is absolutely, totally, deeply in the very base of the women's soul. And that's, I think, it's not just the possibility and the beauty of women, but also I think in modern times the role and probably the responsibility for women to teach the world to these qualities throughout the way that they can show that they can be as successful as any man, but still they know better. And they know how to do it in a more healthy and happier way.
Thank you. That's what I'm on the path of, to find the way to build without turning into toxic masculinity. Again, going through these traits, you mentioned acceptance, you mentioned kindness. I would definitely want to say compassion.
Okay, I also mentioned humbleness, where you can let go your pride. And also, to connect to the emotions, the connections towards our soul, and the importance of this connection. Every woman has a wave inside. Sometimes in a day period, they have waves at very high positions and very low positions. And sometimes the man next to the woman is totally amazed and terrified what is happening now. But then in the meantime, the woman can, travel through the spectrum of all the emotions and all the reality of soul in 1 hour, in one day, and throughout her life in limitless ways. And this can be terrifying, but this is the way how they have to connect their emotions, which can pull the man back from the senseless way of living. They can teach that you have emotions also. And if you would like to be happy with me, the only way is to understand that emotions are not enemies, but the emotions can teach you how to be honest with you and how to be honest with the world. This is the only way how you can connect with your soul, that you will find true happiness and the true goals of your life, where you can be authentic, where you can find your true purposes, where you can fulfill your possibilities in your life. With your brain and with your rationality, you can reach wonderful things, but these are nothing compared to when you can connect with your emotions, your soul, and then you can find your true purpose, who you are really, and what's your goal in your life, and what's the universe goal with you.
Wow.
The only possibility where you can find the way, the connection to your soul, and I'm here to teach you. But it can be irrational at first glimpse, but after you can connect with the beauty of a wonderful woman, then it's no way for you, if you want to keep that woman, and if you want to keep that woman happy, the only way to do that is to let yourself inside your soul and connect to your emotions, because that's how you can create the woman's heart happy. And then you can find a better way of yourself, and that's how we can build a better life, a better world. And what I can also mention, plenty of them, but for example, to really understand the importance of tiny things also. Because, let me see, when a tired man arrives home, and there's plenty of thoughts in his mind because of the workplace and the clients and the customers and so on, but his wife, for example, or his girlfriend, or any other type of connections, it's a modern world. So, but when the pair of this man can just, oh, I waited for you, and look, it's a very cute little flower. I just planted it 2 weeks ago, and now it has petals, and now it has leaves, and how wonderful, how beautiful it is. And the man part would say, it's nothing, it's not important, don't bother me with that stupidity. But in the meantime, with the glowy, beautiful existence of the woman, can wake up the man that this is important, not the customer. You left it behind at your workplace, leave it there. Now it's the petals, now it's my smile, now there are little wonders, and throughout my smile, throughout my ability to see those little but very important things, I can teach you that this is life. That's just work. And I think it's also overwhelmingly important that in the man's world, the focus is there, which is really not important. The main thing of life is to be in love with the universe, be in love with every moment. And the emotional side of the women, and also the ability to observe tiny but beautiful things, can create the real importance that the customer doesn't matter. It's just a job. It's just, a matter of money. But the money is not the aim of my life. It's just a tool to have a much easier life, it's all a possibility to enjoy the petals, to enjoy the leaves, and much more to enjoy your smile, because you are beautiful, and my heart will remember that that's the gist.
Thank you. Beautiful. two topics unfolded in my head in our flow, and one I would start with is the role of a woman as a motivator in the man's life. How do you see that dynamic?
Okay, I think the very classic part is that a man has to be a man to protect the family, to protect the wife, to be as strong as possible, to fight all the fights what's needed to create a minimum of the Maslow pyramid and so on. So there's an archaic type of motivation, but also I think there are more in the possibility of how women can be effects on a man's motivation. And I think what's motivating is to realize that now it's not Middle Ages anymore. So when I can be a very successful salesman, I can be a very successful manager, or a very famous rock star, or anything. But still, if I don't work on my personality, if I don't take responsibility of my personality and my features and my tendencies, my patterns, still, it's not Middle Ages. So anyone could say that, okay, I'm fed up with you. Let's be happy with your millions. Let's be happy with your car. It's really ridiculous, by the way. But I won't be with you because you missed to love me better, because you missed to take your responsibility about your personality. So I'm a man, I have a wife, and I have a motivation, to bring such good life niveau where my wife and our kids can live a comfortable and joyful life. For sure. I would like to create the possibilities to visit the world, to travel all around the world, and to have adventures, to have possibilities to go to theatre in London, which I adore, and so on and so on. So, okay, that's the archaic part. And I have motivation because I love my wife, really. So that's why I love her smile. And I would like to do that because I love when she is happy. And it's enough motivation. Really, her smile is enough for anything to do. And next to it still, it's not Middle Ages. Now it's really wonderful that we have to realize that the women are equal. And there's no more possibility to get rid of the responsibilities of our personality. I have to also not just deliver the money, but I have to learn how to talk with her, how to give her not just financial, but also emotional background and basics and safety. I have to learn how to be, be awake for her needs, not just her physical needs, but her emotional needs, what her soul needs to be happy. I have to be really awake, very conscious that if I'm kind, she will be more happy. If I'm not kind, there's a chance I will lose her. I have to take responsibilities of my deeper patterns also, because if I don't create this consequent affection of my enthusiasm about our connection, in modern times, it's not enough to say once in 5 years that, by the way, I love you, so take it for hard times. I say it now, and I will tell you when it's over. No, it's to say I love you is absolutely a need, but it's not enough. Because when we say I love you, it's not, a statement, but it's a verb, which means that she will need proof. I don't know if I love my wife. My wife knows that. Throughout my actions, throughout my love languages, throughout how I deal with her, with my verbal things, but also with my gifts, also with my hugs, my little touches, the time which we spent together, also the helps which I can give her. She will know if I love her throughout our silence, throughout where we can just sit next to each other without words, but I'm with her. I'm there for her. I'm not just there somewhere in my mind, on my car, on my billions, on my career and so on, but I'm with her because she needs now silence. Not my help, not my activities, as always men believe, but my presence, where she can feel that I'm there for her. And I have to learn these. And it's a very good motivation for inner roots, because we won't be able to give that for a woman if we don't face our demons in ourselves, where we could hurt throughout, where we have wounds throughout our childhood traumas, throughout our previous fights in our previous connections and love connections. And we have demons in ourselves where we have to learn how to process them. We have to learn how to create wisdom for all the slaps of life which we experienced earlier. And I think, and it's my deep opinion, that of course there are also always some people who could do this without women. But I think in general, we have now such a mankind where the man, I really experienced that man starts to work with their inner demons when they realize that they will lose their love. They sometimes lost their love, and then they realize that, oh my God, I missed to work on myself to be a better partner, to be able to love better. And now it's not enough to bring the money home. Why not? Because women can do anything the men can do, and they can do their success, they can do their careers, they can be even better than our possibilities. But they need also a partner, an adult partner, not a child, but a real adult, a real matured man. And the maturity is where a man also deals with the emotions, the soul also, and take responsibilities of the personality, the inner demons, the inner processes. And throughout this responsibility, then man can observe what we have done in the last couple of thousands years, with our society, with our transgeneral patterns, with our planet, and so on. And then we can realize that we are not on a good track. We have to change the track. We have to change the track where we can see the importance, the little petals and the little leaves and so on, and the smile and the beauty of the presence. And I think this type of motivation where a woman can respect herself, this is the best motivation of men to improve themselves. Without a woman who can respect herself, there's no need in the man to deal with the more important topics. But women worth it. You are so wonderful. You can be the treasure of our life. And we know it after some slaps. We realize it that, okay, now I have to stop to be a child. I have to get to a root where I really should find my true self, my real possibilities, my emotions, and the connections to my reality, because that's you needed, because you reached everything now, what we can do, but you show such a things what we are not able, so we have to grow up and keep pace with you, because you can do such a things which we are still don't understand. What are those emotions? Compassion. How you can be so successful, still you can deal with such high qualities. We have to learn it, we have to grow up. So you are the motivation when you respect yourself.
What an opportunity. And as you said, a responsibility with that. Wow. Wow. And this beautifully brought us to my last topic, which is the balance of standing up for ourselves, let's say in a relationship or in the workplace, but without diminishing men or without pushing them down. How do we find balance there?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Man is competitive. If you realize this and don't go down into that track, but you don't react to this competitive attitude, but you do your job, do your own things without losing your track of what is important for you, what are the main importance, then probably you will be able to not get pulled back to the previous level. When you become a part of this game of competitiveness and so on, you will push down the man. Because nowadays, especially in the Western and Northern countries, it's a tendency that women can push down men because of the present situation, the present attitude of the community, the woke movement and so on. So now there's an easy way to push down men. If you lose your identity, that you're not a man, but you are a woman, which means that the intelligence, the rational way can be a man's way, but the intelligent, rational, but also wise way, it's a women way. So when you don't want to use your force to reach your goals, but you use all your competencies, but without using violence, and be ready to be always cooperative and to teach the other how to be cooperative and forget to be competitive. If you really respect yourself, if you manage to strengthen yourself to that point where nothing can happen which creates an atmosphere for you inside to be competitive, but you always get your wisdom and express your wisdom that, okay, I don't want to fight with you. Okay, as you wish. But let me say some things, and then the decision will be yours. For example, that's wisdom. Okay, you're a man. You have to make decisions. You have to be a boss in your world. Okay, then let's do it. Just let me give you advices. Let me widen your perspective with my wisdom. Let me suggest that you can do better if you let me help you. When she realized that I don't have to be your boss, I just would like to give the possibility for you to learn together, to widen our perspectives together, to think it through together, because then you will learn and both we will learn that together we can reach more. The two of us can create such a synergy when it's much more than the 1 + 1, but also can create 3 or 4, not just 2. Because when we cooperate, we can lean on the other person possibilities. And with this attitude, you can be the boss of yourself. Leave me alone because I respect myself. I don't want to be pushed down. No, I'm equal. I just would like to show you that together we can reach better aims. We can reach better levels of achievements. Short conclusion to the end that, every violence, every aggression, every need of using force comes from fear. comes from the lack of self-esteem and self-confidence. So your question was how to avoid be this kind of pushy, be this kind of bossy personal. And the answer is also that to work with your values and to observe them and to realize them, that you have values, you have possibilities, and you can respect yourself and you can lean on yourself. And when you realize those really, then there won't be a need to fight. Then you can express what the man don't understand in this world, that there's no need for competition, there's no need for fight. Let me show you. I'm interested in your opinion, I'm interested in your visions, and let's create it together. So if you focus on your values, if you always realize and make it conscious in yourself that, okay, I'm okay, then the man's behavior won't push you out from your balance, and you can stay true yourself. If you know your values, you don't need anything to prove it to you, and you don't need others to be pushed down by you to prove yourself that you are strong. This is the game of the childish man. Okay, but if you know yourself, you realize your true values, and you can lean on yourself, you have that strength in yourself, then you can avoid this type of pattern. Work on yourself. Work on yourself in therapies, in groups, in inner battles. Face with your demons, face with your fears. Your work it so much that you won't feel that you will need a fight to prove yourself. You don't need. You're ready. So then you can teach the others to...
Thank you so much for your thoughts. Is there anything else you would like to share with the world of women as a closing thought?
Okay. First of all, I think it's very strange to talk to the world of women as a man. So I would like to say that I would like to express that it's not advices, it's not, from up to down communication from myself. It's just my opinion. It's just only my amusement towards the woman energy and the need of woman mindset in our world. And I'm just on the side track. I think in modern times, in my lifetime, for example, I'm totally convinced that now it's your time. Now is the age of women. And you have the possibility to teach us a better life. And what I just tried to express, a fan's world, but not your world. I think you know it better. And I think if you connect with your soul and realize that it's much more worthy than now what we have in our civilization, then you will have the real answers. It was just my opinion, and it was just an outsider thoughts about your beauty. So you can do it, and I think, yes, as you Lilla mentioned, that it's a beautiful possibility, but also a responsibility. Also, yes, you have this responsibility, but I think in the world, who has the responsibility has the ability for do that. So search your ability, search your potentials, because now it's your time, and you can save our world, our humankind, our planet. Not we are men, because we tried it, but we didn't really do a great job in it. We just started a thing. But now the more adult, more matured world can be built much more throughout the women energy. And then, when you fulfill your responsibility, then there could be a balance. And then, absolutely convinced I am that then the man could grow up and be a nice partner for you also. But you have to teach them through your values. So learn your values and love your values and express it and teach the world to those values.
Gergely, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.